Tonight on Famous Killers, we will be recounting the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most infamous serial killers, with information provided exclusively by those who worked on the case. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, was an American serial killer and sex offender who killed and dismembered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. We now go to our interviewer as he talks to those who worked on this case. Hello there. I heard you two worked on the Jeffrey Dahmer case. What can you tell me about him?
We can tell you everything about him. What you wanna know?
So to start, what can you tell me about his childhood?
So Dahmer's childhood was very hard. He was quiet, and he had his parent has marriage problems. So his childhood was not easy at all.
Here is an exclusive look at Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood home and a photo of him with his family as a child. Okay, I understand. Were there any precursors to what happened? Did his childhood behavior reflect these problems?
Well, when he was younger, he loved to do taxidermy with his parents. Sometimes he would pick up a rat or whatever from the side of the road, and then he'd just do taxidermy stuff on it, which caused social withdrawals, and he had the strange interest of the taxidermy, which ended up being warning signs for what happened later.
How would you describe his adult life?
So he graduated high school, and he served in the U.S. military, but he was discharged after he had alcohol issues, any kids at all, and he was always lonely.
Okay. Did he have any mental disorder diagnoses or any treatment for them, if he did have them?
Yeah, so he was diagnosed after he was arrested with personality disorders, but when everything happened, he was limited to prior treatment.
Can you tell me about the natures of his crimes, the time span, the number of victims, and what he did?
So his crimes happened from 1978 to 1991. He had 19 confirmed victims, and almost all the methods that he used to kill them was drug them and his apartment and put them in the fridge and that kind of stuff.
Here we can see a recreation of Dahmer picking out his victim. Now we see a recreation of Dahmer drugging his victim and ultimately killing and eating them. What behavior led him to getting caught, and what was he like when he got arrested?
Yeah, so the reason why he got caught is because of one of his victim escapes and was able to alert the police and talk to neighbors. And when the police arrested him, he was actually really calm and really cooperative.
Weird.
911, what's your emergency?
911 call was placed. Police raided Jeffrey Dahmer's house, arresting him and taking him to be interrogated.
Oh, here's some water. I'm gonna ask you some questions about the crime that you committed. You know by chance someone named Tracy Edwards?
Nah, I don't know who that is.
And what were you doing on July 22nd, 1991?
I'm not sure. That's a long time ago. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay. We're also got a call from your one of your neighbors telling us that the smell was very bad from your apartment.
Yeah, I just like to keep raw meat in my freezer. That's about it.
No, we know that's not the truth.
What are you
The
talking about?
raw meat, all your neighbors have been complaining about all this. We found all of the tools that you left in your sink. We found all the bodies left in the fridge. Do you want to explain this? We all know about the bad smell, all the guys who are coming over to your house. Explain this.
I have nothing to say. I mean, I just like to keep meat in my freezer. It expires, and that explains why it smells like that.
So do you have any explanation for the man that ran away after he was caught being with you?
Yeah, we had a fun night out at the nightclub, and I asked him to come back to the apartment. He said yes, and when I got in with him, he got scared and he thought that something bad was gonna happen, and I was trying to tell him not to run away because it was gonna cause a scene, and he still did. So I got super scared, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. He just ran away.
After many hours of interrogation, Dahmer finally admitted to having committed these crimes.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Did you kill teenagers?
Whatever, I did it.
You did it?
I
How did you kill them?
would lure them into my apartment and I would give them some beer that I spiked with some drugs, and they would take it, they'd get sleepy and knocked out on the couch, and then I would drag them to my room. And then sometimes they would wake up, sometimes not, and I would chainsaw their bodies and leave them in my freezer so the smell can lessen, but I guess that didn't help. So
Dahmer's trial began on January 30th, 1992, at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. People swarmed to see how Dahmer would react to the charges brought against him. Throughout the entire trial, Dahmer seemed oddly calm, and showed zero signs of remorse, even when a relative of the victim exploded in anger with him.
I'm the oldest sister of Errol Lindsay. Whatever your name is, Satan. I'm mad. This is how you act when you are out of control. I don't want to ever see my mother have to go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you, mother. I hate you. This is out of control. Don't Jeffrey, I kill you. Look at me, mother. I kill you.
Punch him, Ray fast.
I kill you.
Was he competent enough to stand trial?
Yes, he was. The court determined he understood his actions and could participate in his defense.
Can you tell me about the evidence that was used at trial and what the trial's outcome was?
Yeah, so there was a ton of forensics evidence. You had a witness testimony, a confession. So with the forensic evidence that was found, is there was body parts found cut up in the fridge. There's bloody knives. There's knives everywhere. They did find like a lot of drugs. And then at the trial, he was found legally sane.
Next, the investigators showed us the tools that Dahmer actually used in his crimes. They also explained the specific drugs that Dahmer used to drug his victims. They were temazepam and triazolam, both of which were short-acting sedatives prescribed for insomnia. Can you tell me what charges were given to him, the conviction, and what sentence he ended up serving?
He was charged by like multiple murders, like 15 in Wisconsin, and they were like connected to a lot more. And he was like sentenced for 15 consecutive life sentences, which is like a total of 900 years in prison.
Okay. Is he still alive now?
No, he's not. He was actually stabbed by another inmate. Yeah.
Thank you. We now have a recreation of Dahmer's death at the hands of his fellow inmate. For your time.
Yep.
We will now leave you with footage of Dahmer being interviewed for the final time.
Sleeping pill mixture already prepared. Person would drink it, fall asleep, and that's when they would be strangled.
And he made a startling admission about the evil urges that propelled him to kill.
Do you still feel those same urges? Do you still feel that compulsion, that obsession?
I wish I could say that it just left completely, but no, there are times when I still do have the old compulsions.
A creature of the night, he said he slept most of the day in prison. During the interview, he asked for several breaks.